Well, good morning. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. And the Caroline, Sally Joe, wherever you, there you are. Thank you so much. Nice to hear that. Nice to hear that. So I'm going to ask Deb to come up and do the announcements now, since I don't know what the announcements are.
Welcome, everyone. Oops. How many were here on Wednesday night for Ladies' Night Out? Highly, highly successful event. We've raised thousands of dollars. We can't say how much, but thank you to Linda Grass and Jill Kershaw and the whole team, Sharon and the whole team. What a fantastic event. Sold out weeks in advance, and so I hope you'll do the same for November 16th. November 16th is our next fundraiser, a church fundraiser, dance party with the same couple who were here last year and sang, Trish and Paul. How many were here last year for Ladies' Night Out? We had a great evening of dance, so come November 16th, $30, includes dinner, made by Lynn Manning, and of course, we may be serving liquor, I think, blah, 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 just to get you in the spirit. And thank you to Murray. The Men in Black will be joining us to help out with that event, and you did a great job this week as well. Daytimers is tomorrow. If you haven't signed up but still wish to come, please come. Lunch starts at 11:30. We'll have a speaker. The speaker is talking about elder abuse, which is something of interest to and affects many of us and many people in our community. So hopefully you'll come tomorrow. And just put on your calendars, our fundraiser in December, we'll be having Rob and Anton playing the Messiah. And it will be on December 14th at 1 o'clock, and there will be singers joining them and maybe even Valley Voices for the final number. So we just put that as a special treat. Again, it's a fundraiser. We'll be selling tickets, but I hope you'll have, because the proceeds go not only to the church, but also to support the musicians, which is absolutely wonderful, which is part of the way we work in Humber Valley. We also want to support the musicians. And without further ado, I'll turn it back. And please join me in thanking Cathy Wilkes for leading this service today.
Maybe you should wait until after to do that. Okay, so the part of what is so lovely about this option is that we can choose the hymns. So the first hymn that I've chosen fits in with the theme that I've chosen. And the reason that I chose the theme of friendship today is because I've recently returned from a trip with friends, with the Intrepids, Greenland, Labrador, Newfoundland. And having come back from that, I was so happy to visit parts of our country that normally you don't get to see. Certainly Labrador, the part of Labrador that we saw, you wouldn't get to see unless you were on a boat. So I was touched and very grateful for the love and the consideration and the bond that my fellow Intrepids shared with me. And Intrepids is what we call ourselves because in the early years there were dozens and dozens of us. I see a few Intrepid alumni here, back there. And when there were that many of us, the trips contributed to the funds to Humber Valley. So anyway, the first hymn is What a Friend We Have in Jesus. Now there's an old one. And I don't know whether, I do know, the little bit I know about the hymn was that it was a young minister who was in North America, and his Irish mother was left behind, and she was missing him. She was missing his friendship. She was missing everything that went with having companionship. So he wrote that, and you probably have much more interesting detail.
That's good.
Oh, is that good? Oh, well, thank you. And the Valley Voices, please come up and lead because we need you with that function. So if I forget to ask you that, just please come up to the front.
What a friend we have in Jesus.
Thank you, Valley Voices. Thank you, everybody. It's so nice to hear that with the organ. So now I'm calling on actually a lot of my friends today. So now I'm calling on Carol Humber, a very long-time friend, to come and lead us in the call to worship. She's got a little job to do here. You will understand why this is important when you hear the call to worship.
Thank you, Cathy. Welcome home, welcome in. Welcome home.
Here we find friends' laughter that chases dark clouds away, and quiet prayers that lead us to still waters and green pastures.
Welcome to this holy space.
Here there are friends with a tender embrace, and here there are words that heal brokenness and reveal God's grace.
Welcome home. God has been expecting you. The candles are lit and the door is open. Welcome to a time of renewal and hope.
Thank you, Carol. So that last line, the candles are lit. There was only one candle, so we thought to be accurate we should have two. Detail. Now our second hymn then will be hymn 232, Joyful, Joyful, We Adore You. And I'll let Robert do that one because there's all kinds of information about this. Yeah.
Wonderful. I know that a lot of people have a connection to this joyful, joyful, we adore thee. This piece of music was very meaningful for Beethoven because he was living in a time, a political time, where he was being asked to have allegiances to different people. And these different people did not get along. So he would have like the King of Prussia telling him, we want this to be a special music that supports that Prussia is above all the other countries. Then there was the King of France, same kind of thing. You know, Beethoven was in these circles, you know, with all these different political people and all of their agendas. And his perspective on all of it, because he was a musician, he played in all these different courts and he knew all of these political figures by name. I mean, he knew the things that they enjoyed, like what foods they liked, you know, and the people that they loved. And his response to this nationalism was to write this great work, the Ode to Joy. And what he did is he took this poem that he had read that basically explains to people, listen, we're all human beings and we all belong to the same family. And, what happened is he took a big risk. That's the thing about life. We're asked to take risks, unfortunately, yeah? But with those risks, sometimes come great things. And this is one of those symbols, this piece of music. Following its first performance in Prussia, there was a new awareness around not fighting with all the other royals in Europe. It stirred people so much. It became like if you went to go and get like a hot dog on the street, da da dee da da da. Or if you went into political hall, some of the city-states in Europe started to play this before they started their meetings, so that everyone would recognize mutual respect. Yeah? So it's actually quite a wonderful thing. I'm always thrilled to hear Beethoven's optimism, because at that point in his life, he lost the most important thing to him, his hearing. And to still have this strength of character to create something like this Ninth Symphony, it's truly, truly inspiring endeavor for someone. I mean, and consider his age as well, you know. What he really proved in that moment was experience has value. Anyway, hope you enjoy it.
Valley Voices, thank you. now another friend. Sharon Dowdle is going to do the scripture readings.
I will now read several different passages from different parts of the Bible, all speaking of friendship. To introduce the first passage, I have this to say. Jonathan and David's story is about friendship, probably the Bible's most famous one. Jonathan went to great lengths to protect his friend David from Saul, John's dad, and David looked after John's children long after David died. Great friends do these kinds of things for each other. These passages describe the covenant that the two friends make. Samuel 18, verses 1 to 4. After David had finished talking with Saul, Jonathan became one in spirit with David, and he loved him as himself. From that day, Saul kept David with him and did not let him return to his family. And Jonathan made a covenant with David because he loved him as himself. Jonathan took off the robe he was wearing and gave it to David, along with his tunic and even his sword, his bow, and his belt. The following passages from Proverbs and Ecclesiastes are just nice ones that we all find familiar. Proverbs 18, verse 24. Friends come and friends go, but a true friend sticks by you like family. Ecclesiastes 4, verse 9. Two people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. The following passage is from the New Testament, so it is Jesus' words, or perhaps someone quoting Jesus' words. John 15, verse 12 and 13. This is my commandment, love one another as I love you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends.
Thank you, Sharon. Didn't she bring nice meaning to that? Thank you. Okay, it's me, the reflection. Well, friendship. A friend may well be reckoned the masterpiece of nature, wrote Ralph Waldo Emerson. After all, what brings more joy and consolation than friendship? It is the glue that binds fragmented individuals together, the lubricant that smooths our passage through life. Our friends define us. The very word friend derives from the Old English word for love. The title on the program on the front here, Friendship is Love Without His Wings, is actually a quotation from Lord Byron. And he links the god of love, the Greek god of love, to friendship in a rather charming image. The scriptures Sharon read all reflect and illuminate friendship. My mother always said that you had friends for, I'm quoting her here, it's a familiar quote, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I didn't think much about that at the time, but now I think she's right. We make friends with the parents we volunteer or sit with at our children's sports or cultural activities. We become friends with those we work with or those we meet on travels, those we live near in our condos or neighborhoods, or those we meet in probus or book clubs or sporting events. Sometimes these are the reason and the season friends. Sometimes some of these become lifelong friends. Back in the 60s and 70s, before the internet and before TV shared feelings of loneliness and pain on talk shows, Oprah, Dr. Phil, etc., there were records that we played, books we gave each other. And I still have most of these, actually. Those who know me know I never get rid of much. And so, in here I have an inscribed book from 1970 from a friend that is an all-time friend saying, "You're my friend, so I bought you this book." And I still have the record that it might even have been Carol who gave it to me back in the 60s. It was a record of very emotional poems by American singer and songwriter Rod McEwen. Did anyone else listen in the dark to his mellifluous voice? And there was music too. Well, he read lines like this from his poem entitled The Need. It's nice sometimes to open up the heart a little and let some hurt come in. It proves you're still alive. If nothing else, it says to you, clear as a high hill air, uncomfortable as diving through cold water. I'm here. However wretchedly I feel. And remember how popular this book by the Lebanese poet Khalil Gibran was? Remember, I think probably, have anybody got this on your shelves still? The prophet has the rhythms of Ecclesiastes, and although we heard that in church, probably we were charmed probably more by his somewhat esoteric reflections on topics such as friendship. Here's part of that poem. And let your best be for your friend. If he must know the ebb of your tide, let him know its flood also. For what is your friend that you should seek him with hours to kill? Seek him always with hours to live. For it is his to fill your need, but not your emptiness. And in the sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and sharing of pleasures. For in the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning and is refreshed. And I thought that part about the laughter and sharing of pleasures and the sweetness of friendship, doesn't that sound like Humber Valley? Then we had the teeny books, the little ones, the ones that entitled things like Lessons Mother Tried to Tell Me But I Wouldn't Listen, or Lessons Dad Tried to Teach Me But I Still Wouldn't Listen. And you won't believe this, in 1992, Humber Valley, I don't know whether it was the UCW, printed this book called Little Nuggets. And was it Colleen Lard? For the day. Well, I'm going to read what it says inside. It looks like it's all hand printed and hand colored on the outside. It says, Humber Valley United Church is pleased to present this little booklet. In our busy lives, we have little time to reflect on what means the most to us. Things like faith, compassion, grace, and love. Little Nuggets is a collection of daily reflections. They may encourage you, give you something to ponder, comfort your spirit, even warm your heart and give your life a lift. And there are a lot of funny ones in here too. So, Little Nuggets. I was thinking in that introduction, when it talks about faith, compassion, grace, and love, it doesn't really sound that far off our North Star, does it? And here are some of the little nuggets. Things are never quite as scary when you've got a best friend. Or a true friend never gets in your way unless you happen to be going down. Real friends are the ones you can count on no matter what. The ones who go into the forest to find you and bring you home. Too many people use friendship as a drawing account, but forget to make a deposit. Here's October 27th. Sometimes you already have what you pray for. And October 28th, God does not promise a comfortable journey, only a safe landing. Finally, I'm going to read you a short poem by Ruth Irwin. This one describes a friendship the poet thought would last forever, but only lasted a year. And it's called Friendship for a Season. We lay all night on the cold grass under sharp stars and talked. And as we talked, discovered how different we really are. That was the closest we had ever been, and the start of our friendship's unraveling. Funny, really, how we both went from that pin-bright moment into such separate lives. Sometimes I'm sad I could not love you. But both of us have that night, that wide open talk, those stars. So I hope that the beautiful music and the readings and the time we take in this sacred space to just be inspires you to think of all those friends you've had for a reason or a season, and perhaps nudge you to tell those who are the lifetime friends how much they mean to you and how grateful you are for their friendship. Okay, so now I'm going to ask Rob to introduce our very special guest today.
I hadn't anticipated that you were going to make me cry. We don't want to get emotional as performers because we have to stay focused. We have to do what we're supposed to be here doing, right? And so getting emotional is sometimes not the best thing, but on the other hand, it can improve a performance as well. I have to tell you how lucky I have been in life to have my friend Jeffry Carl. There we go again. So I have to say, Jeffry has this amazing international career. He's very often in New York City working with the top-notch singers and coaches and preparing to sing in Italy. He was in Italy this summer for a few months. I mean, this kind of thing is irritating to me because it means he's not like here where I can have coffee with him. He's always in Italy or New York or these kinds of things. But also he is been very much sought after for film work now as well. Jeffry has a real gift for telling a story. And as it is this time of year, I have to say one of my favorite performances is in a horror film where someone saws his head off. That was amazing. I didn't see that coming, in all honesty. But I have to say, I don't like these gory movies. I never watch those things. But Jeffry brought a whole new thing to it. He made it so outlandish, crazy. I was killing myself laughing while his head was being removed. It was amazing. This is one of those things in life. You never know what life's going to bring you. But Jeffry has this innate thing. He seems to know when I'm at my very, very lowest. And he just checks in. And I do remember very special circumstances where I was told something by a medical professional that was actually not true. And that is, you're going to die. And Jeffry was like, oh, that's impossible. You're going to go see this doctor, you're going to go see that doctor, you're going to go see that doctor, then you're going to and we did all those things. Guess what? He was right. So you need someone who has perspective, right? It's so important in our lives, right? And this friendship, for me anyway, there's money, but I think friendship is the real riches. That's where you get the real riches in life. And so I'm just so grateful. Jeffrey's going to share with us a prayer this morning because this internal sort of drama that lives inside of him, this is actually the real gift of Jeffry. And now I've loaded you all up. But we'd love to sing for you this lovely prayer, the Lord's Prayer by Malotte.
After all that.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory,
Thank you so much.
Gibran Holmes.
He has the key to Gibran home as well. How do you say something after that? Let us pray. As we give our tithes and offerings today, may it be a reflection of our thankfulness for all that you have graciously given us. Amen. Oh, Murray's got his team out. Please come forward. You may be seated. Now, I've chosen this closing hymn, number one, because I like it, but there's another reason as well. Friendship. Friends that have lived across the street from us for 40 years. Their eldest son was in Julia's class all through Humber Valley and David Tumber's class. And the young father of 3 children, a 4-year-old, an 18-month-old, and at the time a 2-week-old baby, was walking with his wife before dinner to let a little of the rambunctiousness of the little ones out. And they were struck by a car. You may have heard this in the news. And the dad and the little kids are now out of the hospital, but the mother of that 2-week-old baby, is still in there, and it's not looking good. So this is the Pizzula family. Andrew Pizzula was Julia's classmate, and Donna Pizzula taught as an educational assistant at St. George's on the Hill Nursery School for years. That family is hurting. There's not a lot we can do, but this particular song was composed by a man who, I think it was in the 30s, and he'd lost his wife and child. And he wrote this because of his grief. And so I thought today, not only do I like the piece of music, but as we're singing it, have a little inner prayer, perhaps, for these folks who feel their life is shattered. Please stand. Valley Voices, help us on this one. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me home, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me home. Lord, lead me home. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. And my life is almost gone. Remain standing, and I'd like you to join me in this benediction. This is a benediction that we say together in the little Presbyterian church that I attend, very little Presbyterian church that I attend in Florida in the winter. So we read this together. We go nowhere by accident. Wherever we go, God is sending us. Wherever we are, God put us there for a purpose. Christ, who indwells us, has something he wants to do through us, wherever we are. And then, of course, we will sing Go Now in Peace as our final. Go now in peace, never be afraid. God will go with you each of every day. Go now in faith, steadfast, strong, and true. Know He will guide you in all you do. Go now in love and show you believe. Reach out to others so all the world can see. God will be there, watching from above. Go now in peace, in And if you have time, Rob does an absolutely beautiful prelude on the organ for a quiet time before you leave. So please enjoy. it get any better than that?